Are we live? I said, are we live? Are we live? Are we live in the place to be? Well, if we live, let's get it.
Yeah, Showdown. Low one man show. Low one man. And then we can't control the flow of the one man show.
You can't control the flow of the flow.
Yeah.
You can't control the flow of the bro. That's straight loco. You get crazy with the one man show. You can't control the flow of the bro. That's straight loco. You get crazy with the one man show. You getting crazy with the one man show. You can't control the flow. The flow is straight loco. So act like you know. But bitch, still bringing it to you. Who are you want my software to get in and get my message to your brain? I keep it plain and simple. I only got one dimple. Those dimples are acting. So where to see how they going? How you doing out there? I really don't care. All eyes on me. My tracks are free. I don't try to be this talent on loan from God. I got more bombs in the tower who follow Islam. If it beat you lacking, look no further. I'm racking stacking tracks there. You sound good, really? Then put your money where your mouth is. Get up, you hardcore for sure, bitch. I talk the way it is. I don't gut. I put what you need. But you don't want to hit. Like you start to feel a brother who starts smoother than slow, like it's over. Protect the mother with a sick baby in her arms. You can't control the flow. Up to go to straight loco. You can't control the flow. Let the flow is straight loco. You get crazy with the one man show. Yo, you can't control the flow. The flow is straight loco. You get crazy with the one man show. The one man show. I'm not a rock sayer, I'm not an MC slayer. So the Lord, I should have been born in the Himalayas. Why them brothers don't speak when we take stuff on the street? Each person is unique with something different to offer. We don't look, we judge, we don't bother. Whatever happened to black power unity? Being involved in the community. Black people are there, they from call or high. Let them light pass them by, and you wonder why I keep to myself. You can't show me love when you don't love yourself. Moving on, the mic is warmed up, the track goes out, the bones think I suck. So you can lift your hands off my nuts. I fish for the picture areas and be buried. Going to some top of the casket on prison colors. You come things. Somebody must be know the Bible. I can themselves be an idol, a role model. This world is twisted. Women nowadays do more fiction than switching. How can you call yourself a man being stuck up under any woman? Y'all telling me to demand respect. Think I hand over her paycheck. Shut up, I'm not being second. I'm being real. When I see a lady cop, I want to cop a feel. You dig what I'm saying? You can't control the flow of the one man show. I'm straight loco.
You can't control the flow.
But the road is straight loco. You get crazy. I'm with the one man show. Ain't like you know, bro. I get down like Edgar Allan. Don't cook the rain number more. Raise your head if you're sure. Raise your head if you're poor. I'm breaking out my hand pen. I ain't for that freestyle. I take it all my lyrics in conjunction, but they function. And Joe, when we lose composition, things out of building, the song I grew up with. Don't like it? Well, get a grip. Something like you, I slip. So I pick your fuck when you even start. Eat you like a shark. They ain't got the rock, no something, no thing first. Tell me why I wanna be like you, act like you. Get my really cool candy, ain't that extra sorry currency. And I poop, here's a scoop. I wanna poop bring your best suit. Bring your best soldier, I'm older. And then you know you cannot control it. You cannot control the flow. No, you can't control the flow. I just want this straight loco. You get crazy with the one man show. You can't control the flow. The flow is straight loco. You get crazy with the one man show. I wish you did that. Rock track like these with no stop. No understand. That can be the right sound. Say, suckers.
Come on and hold me tight, but all you wanna do is fuss, cuss, argue, and fight. See, y'all ain't right. All I wanna do is hold you tight, but all you wanna do is fuss, cuss, argue, and fight. See, I can't help you out with that, but check this out. Take it easy and take it slow. Welcome to the BD Show. Take it easy and take it slow, and welcome to the Brother Derrick Show. You other YouTubers, y'all straight greasy. Your whack beef video sound cheesy. Please, somebody release me. Take it easy and take it slow, and welcome to the BD Show. Take it easy and take it slow, and welcome to the Brother Derrick Show. I ain't stressing, I'm here to teach a lesson. I ain't stressing, I'm here to teach a lesson. I ain't stressing, I'm here to teach a lesson. Keeping you other YouTubers out there guessing. So take it easy and take it slow. Welcome to the BD Show. Take it easy and take it slow, and welcome to the Brother Derrick Show. You other YouTubers, y'all straight greasy. Your whack beef video sound cheesy. Please, somebody call Jeezy. Take it easy and take it slow, and welcome to the BD Show. Take it easy and take it slow, and welcome to the Brother Derrick Show. Hold me tight, hey, don't turn off the light. Hold me tight, hey, don't turn off the light. Bring my beat back. Hold me tight, hey, don't turn off the light. Don't turn off the light. But take it easy and take it slow. Welcome to the BD Show. Take it easy and take it slow, and welcome to my Brother Derrick Show. Hold me tight, hey, don't turn off the light. Switch up a little bit. Take it easy and take it slow. Welcome to the BD Show. You other YouTubers, y'all straight greasy. Your whack beef video sound cheesy. Please, somebody release me. Take it easy and take it slow, and welcome to the BD Show. Take it easy and take it slow, and welcome to the Brother Derrick Show. Hold me tight, don't turn off the light. Take it easy and take it slow. Welcome to the Minister, Brother Derrick Show. Thought I'd switch it up for y'all a little bit. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the show. Welcome back. Did anybody come back? All right. Great sermon. And we got some links. No Night by Kids can't be with us this weekend. Family business, but she gave us some links, and I got a couple, and let me make sure I don't get them mixed up. I don't want to get them mixed up. Hold on.
Send us your old action cam.
I hate when they do that.
Identifying houses of worship, churches, synagogue, and mosques as essential places that provide essential services. Some governors have deemed liquor stores and abortion clinics as essential, but have left out churches and other houses of worship. It's not right. So I'm correcting this injustice and calling houses of worship essential. I call upon governors to allow our churches and places of worship to open right now. If there's any question, they're going to have to call me, but they're not going to be successful in that call. These are places that hold our society together and keep our people united. The people are demanding to go to church and synagogue, go to their mosque. Many millions of Americans embrace worship as an essential part of life. the ministers, pastors, rabbis, imams, and other faith leaders will make sure that their congregations are safe as they gather and pray. I know them well. They love their congregations. They love their people. They don't want anything bad to happen to them or to anybody else. The governors need to do the right thing and allow these very important, essential places of faith to open right now for this weekend. If they don't do it, I will override the governors. In America, we need more prayer, not less.
Following up on the president's announcement regarding places of worship being an essential and then having them all reopen, what guidelines and encouragement do you have for pastors, rabbis, imams as they prepare to reopen? Is that appropriate nationwide right now, and what precautions do they need to follow if they were going to reopen their houses of worship?
So I've checked, all 50 states have on their website what their new cases were over the last 24 or 48 hours. We're trying to get every state to do that by community, by zip code. So because I really firmly believe a knowledgeable community can really make judgments for themselves, I think each one of the leaders in the faith community should be in touch with their local health departments so that they can communicate to their congregates. Certainly people that have significant comorbidities, we want them protected. I know those houses of worship want to protect them. And so really ensuring that maybe they can't go this week if there's high number of COVID cases. Maybe they wait another week. But there is a way to social distance like you are here in places of worship. And I think what we're trying to say with the CDC guidance is there's a way for us to work together to have social distancing and safety for people so that we decrease the amount of exposure that anyone would have to an asymptomatic. And I say it that way because I know all of you and all of Americans, if they didn't feel well, they wouldn't go to church that day.
A few big headlines here. The president deeming houses of worship essential. He said at his direction the CDC has guidance for communities of faith. He is demanding that governors allow them to reopen this weekend. He threatened to override those governors, even though, let's be really clear, he can't. He doesn't have the authority to do this. He's talked about doing this before when it comes to reopening government, and he just doesn't have the authority, right? So we've been there, done that on that issue. He does not have this authority. He can, however, create a lot of chaos, which I think we should probably expect here. Now, after he spoke, Dr. Birx was asked about the study that showed a higher risk of death in coronavirus patients from the drug that the president is touting and taking, hydroxychloroquine. She did not answer the question, right? So I want to bring in Gloria Borger. We can start, there's so much to cover here, Gloria. Let's start with churches. And the other thing I will say is I was listening to Dr. Birx because, look, she is someone who knows what she's talking about when it comes to public health, but I found her answer to be incredibly lacking because she said that she had confidence that if people have symptoms, they won't go to church. And I thought, wait a second, you just said that you can't tell if someone's infected with coronavirus because so many people are asymptomatic. She explained how if you ended up symptomatic, you could actually have been shedding the virus 2 days before, unbeknownst to yourself because you didn't have the symptoms. And then if you were asymptomatic, you could be shedding the virus for 6-7 days and never know. So by her own measure, what she's talking about going back into churches just doesn't fly. So let's talk, Gloria, about why the president is doing this and why he's seeing political opportunity here in this pandemic.
Well, it's a muddled mess, first of all. He is seeing political opportunity here. He believes, remember when he told us in April that he was going to open up the churches for Easter Sunday, that it would be a miracle. And I think Kayleigh McEnany herself, when asked a question about opening up the churches by a journalist asking, how can you be sure it's safe? She said, isn't it amazing how many people in this room seem to want to keep those churches closed or something to that effect? And the journalist said, I go to church every Sunday. I object to that. So if you're trying to make this into a faith-based plan here versus those who have no faith, that's absurd. And, the second thing, Kelly McEnany was trying to make this into a First Amendment issue, saying that, of course, people have the right to worship, and then said that the president is a great supporter of the First Amendment. Now, we know the president has called the media the enemy of the people time and time again. And I think the message was completely muddled because when the president said, I can override the governors, as you pointed out, president cannot override the governors. And then when Kayleigh McEnany was asked about it, she didn't really answer the question. She said she wants the governors, in accordance with the guidelines, to open up the churches. And she said it's safe to open your churches if you follow the guidelines. So what does that mean if a governor believes that because of asymptomatic spread, or because perhaps churches are too small and can't have the distancing, or perhaps don't have the opportunity to do services outside, that this could be an issue? And lots of governors are opening up churches. There are some governors with, high amounts of COVID left who are more skeptical about it. So this isn't about faith. It isn't about the First Amendment. It is about public health, and it is about trying to keep people safe. And, the issues are clear. And I just think you can't confuse them.
Yeah, this is about politics. This is not about public health, to be clear. Elizabeth Cohen, what did you think about this guidance? And also, what did you think about Dr. Birx, someone who is not a politician, giving credence to this reopening when I have not heard a single public health expert say this is a good idea and that this will not result in people getting sick and dying?
Brianna, you can't help but admire Dr. Birx when you look at her career, when you look at what she's done. And so that's why I was as stunned as you were when I heard her say, oh, you don't go to church if you don't feel well. She had just gotten through saying how many people are asymptomatic when they have this disease, and they can spread it even when they're asymptomatic. She had a long explanation about how you can't just look at someone and say, oh, you're healthy, it's okay, I don't need to social distance with you. She went into detail about this and then said, people who are sick don't go to church. Well, that's the point, is that people who are asymptomatic will go to church. And that was really stunning to hear her say that. I'm no theologian, but religions value human life. They value what God created, which is all of us. And so do you really want to put all of us into one place? Even if you do a deep cleaning, even if you don't have a collection plate, even if you do all of those things, you are still putting a lot of people into one inside location. Back in March, there was a church in Arkansas, a husband and wife had COVID, and over the next 6 days, 38% of the people who went to services at that church contracted COVID. That was before we were doing all the measures that I just mentioned. But even with those measures, it is still a lot of people in one enclosed space.
Yeah, people aren't perfect, right? And there's going to be issues. I want to bring in Pastor Darren Jaime to talk about this. You are someone who's just been put on the Governor Cuomo's Interfaith Advisory Council, which is going to be focused on reopening. You're the pastor, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe it's of AME Zion Church in Syracuse, New York. I want to get your take on this.
Yeah, well, when you listen to what the president said, obviously he talks about the churches being essential. Okay, churches are essential, but our congregants aren't expendable. We have to make sure that the people that are coming to our sanctuaries, the people who are coming to our houses of worship, are given the best possible care and protection. To open the doors and just simply say, okay, the churches are open, does not answer the question in full. How are we going to do this? What are the practices that are going to be? And, I applaud our governor, because what we're doing is we're developing a faith-based, we have a interfaith council that's going to talk about developing policies and strategies that we can get there. We believe in progression, and we're glad about progression, but progression also must be made with...
All right. Daggone commercial. All righty, y'all. Let's talk about it. Anybody here? All righty. Well, that's a good thing. I don't know if anybody here or not, but it's all good. We can still do a show. All right, y'all, let's talk about it. I don't think it's a good idea. We just had church online. Why can't the churches have the church online? We got a pandemic going on. To have 300 or 400 people together in the same building, and there's so many churches. All you need is one person to have it. That's all you need, one person to have it. And I asked the question, and I ask it again. Why does the lady that's supposed to be in charge of the COVID healthcare for the nation, why is she coming on stage with a surgical, well, at least she got a mask on because the president and the governors don't wear it. But why is she coming on stage with a surgical mask on? This leads me to believe that they don't want you to get a real mask. They want you to get an old cheapy cheap so that they can hoard the mask for themselves. Why would she get on stage with that cheap mask on? That mask does not protect her from getting the CV. Hey, the driver. I mean, if her flowery scarves wasn't bad enough, for her to get up there with that cheap surgical mask on, that's a surgical mask. That mask is to keep surgeons that are working inside your body from expelling droplets from themselves into you. You already up there sick. The last thing you need is for the surgeon to drop something in you. That's what that mask is for. That mask does not protect against the COVID. If you sneeze, it'll hold back some of your sneeze. So it'll protect other people from you to an extent, but it doesn't protect you from other people. And it stops the big stuff from coming out. It doesn't stop the little stuff. That comes right on through. Y'all understand? Somebody having a mask on, period, is better than not having a mask because it prevents the big droplets from coming out. But it doesn't prevent the small droplets from coming out. And you can still inhale it or touch it and touch your face or mouth and get sick. Somebody just dropped the link. Do y'all understand? Those kind of masks don't do anything to protect you from the virus. So somebody can have that same mask on and y'all can breathe on each other. And if one of y'all got the virus, the other person gonna get it. Now, any kind of mask prevents. If somebody sneezes, somebody have water droplets come out their mouth into the air, it'll stop some of it. They have no protection from you. Suppose somebody had the CV on the elevator and they got off and you got on and you wearing that surgical mask. If you inhale and those droplets that it's in the air, if it get through the mask, you done. Hey, I was wearing a mask. That mask ain't doing you bitty good. A lot of people make fun of me because I went through great lengths to get my mask. Yes, I did. And you telling me a woman that make all that money can't get herself a real mask? Come on, man. All right, the driver got a link for us, and No Nobody Cares got one for us, so let's check this out real quick. Georgia man allegedly faked coronavirus diagnosis to employer faces federal charges. A Georgia man who allegedly faked a CV diagnosis to an employee leading the business to temporarily shut down is facing federal charges. Santuan Antonio Davis, 34, Murrow, about 15 miles south of Atlanta, is charged with defrauding his employer after he allegedly faked a medical excuse letter. He has since admitted to authorities that he did not have the virus, according to a press release from the U.S. Attorney in Atlanta. I see your link to Driver. We'll go there next. Davis, who was employed by an identified Fortune 500 company, told his supervisor in March that he had tested positive for the CV and emailed a letter stating that he'd been admitted to the hospital and needed to quarantine for 14 days, and affidavit states. Days prior, the company had told employees that if they had the virus, they would receive paid time off while quarantined. The company's human resources manager reviewed the excuse letter and absorbed some indications of fraud according to the affidavit. For example, the letter stated that Davis was discharged on November 10, 2019, months before the purported admission date. The letter was unsigned. The letter did not appear to be on a normal letterhead. On formal letterhead. All right, something's wrong. All right. The company called the hospital where Davis said he was treated and was told that he was not a patient there in March. Davis' employer also asked for a copy of his positive test result, but he refused to give it to him, according to the document. Out of abundance of caution, the company shut down for cleaning, and at least 4 workers had to quarantine. The prosecutor said Davis' alleged scheme cost the company more than $100,000. He has since been fired. The defendant caused unnecessary economic loss to his employer and distress to his co-workers and their families, said U.S. Attorney Brian J. Pack for the Northern District of Georgia. Davis was released on $15,000 bond. His attorney did not immediately respond to a request for a comment on Saturday. That damn shame. Somebody always trying to get over, ain't they? Somebody always trying to get over. All right, then the driver dropped 3 links, so let's get them.
As the Ahmaud Arbery investigation continues tonight, many people are concerned about a potential conflict of interest. Greg McMichael, charged with murder, used to work for the Glenn County DA's office, and he once helped the Cobb County DA track down a witness.
Now, this development has some people worried about a fair investigation into Arbery's shooting death. News4Jax reporter Janice Harris has been trying to figure out what this connection could mean. And Janice, tell us more about this previous working relationship between Cobb and Glenn County's district attorney's office.
Well, it's not uncommon for investigators to work at different offices throughout the state other than the one that's in their own county. And that's exactly what happened a couple of years ago with Cobb County when they went to Glenn County. We have learned that the Cobb County District Attorney's Office has been in Glenn County before. According to this post on the Cobb County DA's Facebook page, it says, in fall 2016, Cobb prosecutors tried a Cobb County case in Brunswick upon a change of venue order issued by the judge in that case. Cobb's staff used Glenn County's District Attorney Office for workspace for the duration of that months-long trial. At that time, Cobb's trial team had professional interactions with employees of the Glenn County DA's office, including their investigator, Gregory McMichael. Local attorney Gene Nichols, not affiliated with the case, says this is common practice and does not imply a conflict of interest.
The case that we have here, just because Cobb County had come into Brunswick and had participated in some investigations before, as long as we know that the prosecutors out of Cobb don't know this person individually, don't have a personal relationship with him, then there's not going to be any problem with them prosecuting him.
In a separate incident, spring 2017, a now former investigator with the Cobb County DA office communicated with McMichael for help locating a witness who lived in Glenn County and was needed to testify in a Cobb murder case. There has been no continuing relationship between Cobb Deputy Chief ADA Jesse Evans and McMichael. The current Cobb County District Attorney said, quote, In unfortunate circumstances, we are sometimes called upon to prosecute people we know professionally. Professional interactions between prosecuting agencies and even law enforcement are commonplace and do not create a legal or factual conflict in proceeding with a case. And also, it's important to note, I'll read this here for you. The District Attorney Holmes addressed these circumstances with Attorney General Chris Carr before accepting the appointment to this case. And she's also discussed this with the parents of Ahmaud Arbery and their counsel. Reporting live, Janice Harris, Channel 4, the local station.
She is so pretty. Why she got that daggone weave on the head? Why? You don't need it, honey. You don't need that mess. All right, let's keep it going. From the driver. Said it's not going to be a fair court case.
Mr. English, what is your feeling about the fact that surveillance video of your home in construction has become relevant and used the way you believe it is being used in this situation?
First off, I would like to say that this is a tragedy, and I'm deeply sorry for the family and their loss. And also, it's for my family's loss, peace. It's been destroyed when we were just innocent bystanders in the situation. As far as the video goes, I don't want it to be put out.
No.
And misused and misinterpreted for people to think that I had accused of Mr. Arbery of stealing or robbery, because I never did.
Do you believe that Arbery stole anything from your house that day?
No, whatsoever.
The McMichaels told police in the police report here that he had been seen, Arbery had been seen on surveillance video. Did you share this video with the McMichaels?
No, not whatsoever.
Were you aware of any string of burglaries that they say were going on in that neighborhood? Because we can't find police records of any string of burglaries in the neighborhood.
I was.
And what did you know about what was going on in the neighborhood?
We knew secondhand information that maybe somewhere in the neighborhood of January that a vehicle had been entered and some guns taken out of it.
Are you aware that it was the McMichaels who filed that report?
No.
Didn't you report, though, that you believe something had been taken from the house, but you couldn't identify who did it?
No.
So
that's a false accusation.
Oh, good to know. Thank you very much. So you never reported anything about any fishing equipment or anything like that?
The instance with the fishing equipment has got blown out of proportion. That was out of a boat, not out of the structure. And I'm not exactly sure when or where that happened. The boat was transported from Brunswick to our location to where we live 2 hours away.
Just to be clear, you never filed it, you've never accused him, and you don't have any reason to believe that Ahmaud Arbery had anything to do with that.
That is correct.
That is correct. Waiting for it to pull up. All right, this is also from the driver.
Tonight, a third arrest in the shooting death of Ahmaud Arbery in South Georgia. William Ronnie Bryan, the man who recorded the shooting back in February, is now charged with felony murder. The new video shows investigators outside Brian's house today in Brunswick. He is now behind bars tonight in the Glenn County Jail. Welcome to Up Late, everyone. I'm Ron Jones.
And I'm Aisha Howard. We have a lot to dig into tonight, including an exclusive interview with an attorney for the Arbery family. Now, we want to start with that new arrest of Roddy Bryan. Natisha Lands kicks off our team coverage outside the GBI headquarters tonight. Natisha.
Well, we learned about this arrest about 5:30 this evening, which is about the same time that GBI was executing a search warrant at William Bryan's home in Brunswick. Now, Bryan's arrest comes about 2 weeks after the arrest of father and son Gregory and Travis McMichael for the death of Ahmaud Arbery. Tonight, the man behind this viral video that sparked outrage across the country arrested for murder. GBI tells us William Roddy Bryan is charged with felony murder and attempted false imprisonment. 3 days ago, Bryan's attorney said his client took a lie detector test to clear his name.
Mr. Bryan was not armed. He was unarmed at the time of the shooting, and he was not in communication with Gregory or Travis McMichael or anyone else during that time frame.
Gregory and Travis McMichael have been charged with murder for the death of 25-year-old Ahmaud Arbery. 50-year-old Bryan filmed the February 23rd confrontation between the McMichaels and Ahmaud Arbery after his attorney says he noticed Arbery running, followed by a white pickup truck. He says Bryan was just a witness and showed police his video immediately. One of the prosecutors who previously led the investigation wrote in a memo Bryan joined the McMichaels in, quote, hot pursuit of Arbery. And Bryan is expected to be in the Glenn County Jail tonight. His attorney says that he has been cooperating. He's answered questions from investigators at length, even without a lawyer present.
The Arbery family attorney started the week with a clear mission: the arrest of William Roddy Bryan. Attorney Lee Merritt posted news of the arrest on his social media with a one-word caption: pressure. I spoke exclusively tonight with Merritt about how his team applied that pressure and didn't let up on getting this third arrest.
This case started because there was an incomplete investigation from the beginning. So GBI had to go in there, relook at all the evidence, and go make the arrest that should have been made in the first place. We feel strongly that when they were arrested the McMichaels, they should have arrested the co-conspirator, William Bryan.
Was there any key thing, or was this just a part of the investigation at the most basic level that led to this arrest, or was it something that really stood out that got us to this point?
Obviously not into the shoes of the GBI. It's interesting that just yesterday they went into the home of the McMichaels. I'll be interested to see what they recovered that may have given them the probable cause they needed to go ahead and make that arrest. But I believe with the video evidence and the original police statement, there was more than enough probable cause to charge Mr. Bryan for the crimes that he was charged for today.
He's facing a murder charge. His lawyer has been on national television and has maintained via this lie detector test that he didn't have a weapon, he didn't have a conversation with the McMichaels, and that this was not the intent in regards to his involvement. But he is facing a murder charge. Now, can you tell me anything about where that stems from?
We often see felony murder charges for people who go along with others who eventually commit the crime of murder. And so we knew that that was appropriate from the beginning. The lie detector test, which isn't credible evidence, it's not something that is admissible in court. And the whole campaign, the media campaign to really distract the public as to his role, wasn't going to be able to overcome the facts in the case that showed that he played a significant role. But for his actions in blocking Ahmaud in and cutting off his path of exit, Ahmaud will probably still be alive today.
What's next?
Well, obviously, we want to see the arrest lead to a formal indictment, then a vigorous prosecution and conviction. But there are other people that we believe were involved. We spoke with the DOJ earlier today about their investigation into the corruption that failed to, that delayed these arrests in the first place.
All righty. The driver? Good question. Let me explain it to you, sir. Uh-oh. Don't tell me it froze again. Don't tell me it froze again. Hold on, y'all. Is it because I got the bars in there? That could be it. That's a chat. Okay, maybe it's not responding. Come on, man, get out the way. Maybe it's not responding. Let me rename this. I made it exactly. Maybe I ought to take that out. Yeah. We on a problem here. Okay, I got on automatic. Wait a minute. Oh. Something ain't right. It's not showing up. Why ain't it showing up? So, what is it called? First of all, they're going with that bull crap again. Come on now. YouTube Live Dashboard. That's what it's called. All right, then let's delete it. Remove it then. Remove it. Since you don't want to work, let's make a new one. Put my nerve with this stuff, man. Hold me up. And run the show here. And call it YouTube Live Dashboard. Ain't nothing showing up. Why won't nothing show up for YouTube Live Dashboard? Do a refresh. All right, y'all. Something wrong with YouTube. Because YouTube doing this. That ain't showing up neither. So why it ain't showing up? Oh, crap. Hold on a second. Press the screen. Something ain't right. Why is it black? I don't understand. I don't understand. Something's wrong. You just won't leave us alone today, will you? First off, YouTube is red, and there's no reason for it. There's no reason for us to be red right now. Something ain't right. Something is not right. Something ain't right. Now, we ain't got no problem with the OBS. Everything is fine. The phone data is fine. We ain't dropped no frames. For some reason, the OBS is not picking up. Go to defaults. Why it's not picking up the dashboard? I see it right there. I don't understand why it's not picking it up. Something not right. All right, let's go down here. The Chrome, the other Chrome ain't working neither. Neither one of the Chromes are working. Something ain't right. Something not right. Nope. I got 2 Chrome windows. Neither one of them are working right now. I don't understand what's going on. I don't understand. All right, y'all. I don't understand. Somehow we got took out. I might have to restart. Something ain't right. I don't understand how come the Chrome window is not working. Now it said no notification. Now I keep asking you to get Hangouts, dear. You won't get Hangouts. Why? Just download it. So I can hit you up easy. Why you and the driver won't do it, I don't get it. But what's going on here? Number one, why are we buffering? There's nothing wrong with our data. Why somebody keep messing with us today? There ain't nothing wrong with our data. And now the OBS won't pick up YouTube. It's not picking it up. It's not even picking up the music groove. How come nothing not picking up? All right, y'all, we're going to have to stop and come back.